All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to answer yet another of the 250 philosophical questions on my list. This one is, what can society do to improve in the next 5 years? Kind of a silly question, isn't it? So, for those of you who do not know, the reason I am drinking in this video is because, one, I have alcohol that's been sitting around for far too long and I need to drink it at some point. Not all of it is still good. Yes. This is some of my alcohol that apparently should have been drinking 2 years ago, and I drank it yesterday. I don't know if they have expiration dates on that kind of booze, but anyway, how old is this? This is still technically drinkable. But anyway, so for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these bracelets from the company 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. I am giving you an opportunity to do something good for the world for free. Internet trolls have said, why don't you just do good things because they're good things? Well, because these things are expensive, and I would need the cooperation of the entire world to make any significant dent in the amount of trash in the ocean. So, yes. The world is not a nice place, and we need to spend every opportunity that we have making it better. Anyway, I'm going to take my medication. And I'm going to get to the question. What can society do to improve in the next 5 years? Again, this is probably a question that has gotten the same answer for my entire lifetime. I mean, we can become more environmentally friendly. We can address homelessness. We can enact more fair tax laws. For my whole lifetime, this has pretty much been an issue. I mean, there was a time in American society when we sent people to mental institutions rather than letting them be homeless. You can't hold down a job? Well, okay, there's a place for you. We don't do that anymore. And we don't do that for a very good reason, because mental institutions sucked, not nice places to be. All right. Well, now we have a bunch of homeless people, and they're not all mentally ill. I actually worked with a man once. He was living in his car, his family was at a hotel, and, he could not afford enough room in the hotel for him to be there, so he would sleep in his car. And as I recall, he quit the job that I was working him with. So the job I had was so bad, he would rather sleep in his car. Okay. But I mean, we were aware of environmental problems the year I was born. We were aware of environmental problems 10 years after I was born, and we've been working to make the environment better. We have. I mean, when I was a kid, acid rain was an issue. Car. Now, carbon emissions are the major issue. We've addressed acid rain. That's a good thing, okay? We now have different environmental problems, but we still have environmental problems. I don't think there's a big hole in the ozone layer anymore, but, you know, that was one of those things. Well, what happened to acid rain? Well, we cleaned up the environment enough so that acid rain stopped being an issue. Now we're dealing with ocean acidification, which is caused by CO2 getting into the ocean and causing acidity, making it carbonic acid. Carbonic acid is what makes this drink fizzy. That's just one of those things. So what can we do to make our world better? Well, I mean, you know, we can look back to the Great Depression, which is the last time homelessness was as bad as it is today. And we can say, what did we do to enact to stop homelessness then? We had a high minimum wage. The minimum wage at the time probably gave the average American the same buying power as $35 an hour does now. Okay, so we should probably raise the minimum wage significantly across the country. We should probably have more housing projects. We should also have projects that cause economic stimulus in small towns. And why do I say that? Well, because the cost of living is low in small towns, but nobody lives there because there are no jobs. So we have to bring America back into a rural setting. That's just one of those things. But I mean, you know, the question really being, in the next 5 years, will society get better or worse? In the last 5 years, society got worse. No matter what you want to say about it, you know, people are saying, well, what do they say during the election? They say, are you better off 4 years? Were you better off 4 years ago? And it's like, you know, 5 years ago, yeah, things weren't exactly great, but now the homelessness problem is worse. More and more people fall into homelessness. The environment is getting worse. The accumulation of our carbon emissions are having a greater impact. So, yeah, you know, in some ways, society is just evolving. But the hope is that our society can evolve to the point where we stop having a homelessness crisis. You know, and people say, well, that's socialism. Yes, socialism is the safety network that prevents human suffering. It needs to be supported by a capitalist economy. Look, you know, we use socialism to essentially mean communism in the modern day. But we want roads and schools and many things to be government run because the government's the only one that can really do those things without charging us additionally for having these things. So it's like, yes, we could privatize freeways, but then, you know, you'd have to pay to use the freeway. We already pay to use the freeway. It's called taxes. So yeah, look, we need to address more people falling into poverty in America. We need to address the environment. Those are the two things. In 5 years, let's hope both of those things are better. I don't know if I'll be around 5 years from now, but, you know, hey, if I am, you can call me on this. You can comment on this video and say what got better. I'm Richard.
Danger Ducky says, this is your magic moment. A moment for you to do something that is good for the world. You can comment, like, and subscribe, because for every 1,000 subscribers this channel gets, they will buy one of these bracelets I am wearing. Each one of these bracelets I am wearing means that one 1 pound of trash will be removed from the ocean. Cleaning the ocean is an expensive thing to do, and we need your help, so don't be trash. Comment, like, and subscribe, and get trash out of the ocean.